Prophet's company for 10 years. He says that I have not touched anything more soft than the palms of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His palms were so soft, if I inserted my hand to do musafaha with him, it was as though I have inserted my hand into a pillow. Pillow soft from both sides. I usually say that if you've ever shaken the hands of somebody who's in the building trade, he's touching hard things all the time because of the sohbat, that connection. His hands, his palms also become hard. Very rough hands he has. But somebody who is always in the dhikr of Allah, that dhikr of Allah, that blood running in his veins, makes his palms nice and soft. And I always share that when I used to meet the hands of Hazrat Moulana Yusuf Mutala Sahib Rahmatullahi Alayhi, that this hadith used to come to mind. His hands were fully fleshed, as though in between wool I have inserted my hands. This is how his hands were. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِذَا الْتَفَتَ إِلْتَفَتَ مَعًا. When he used to turn towards somebody, then he would turn fully towards somebody, not halfway. Meaning if somebody came to talk to him, then he wouldn't just turn his face and talk to him. He wouldn't look towards another direction and talk to him, because this is against the etiquettes of speaking to a person. This is khilaf adab. When you speak to somebody, give them their full attention. If you don't have time, tell him to come back later. Tell him to wait for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But when you do talk to him, then turn your face, turn your chest fully towards that person. This is what our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam teaches. That إِذَا الْتَفَتَ إِلْتَفَتَ مَعًا. When he used to walk, إِذَا مَشَى تَقَلَّعَ كَأَنَّمَا يَنْحَطُ فِي الصَّبَبِ. When our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to walk, then even though he may be walking uphill, it was as though he was walking downhill. He used to keep his gaze down, not looking everywhere, not looking through the windows, seeing what is happening in someone's house. In one hadith, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, if you intentionally look through the window and you try to see what is happening in someone's house, it is as though you have entered their house without their permission. And there is severe punishment for that. And that's why we shouldn't do this. When we walk on the streets, on the roads, on the path, then the Prophet ﷺ taught us that when you lift your feet, then lift it with some force, kick it forward, push it forward, and then gently place it on earth again. And I saw again Moulana Yusuf Mutala Sahib Rahmatullahi Alayhi walk like this. I saw him walking like this. The ulama, they try their best to act upon the habits of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So when he used to walk, he used to lift his feet and then push it forward and then gently place it on earth. Not kick and with force and with some kind of force hit it on the earth again. Why? Because this earth is also a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This earth also is created by Allah. It also will have feelings, etc. So Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, He created His Prophet Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the best of form. Regarding his hair, he had a beard. He had a thick beard. His beard was like mine thick, not a few strands here and there. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he had only a number of white strands of hair. Some here in the sudr, and some here strands of hair, and here in the sudr, sideburns, there were some white strands of hair. Apart from these, there was no other white hair. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam passed away at the age of 64. 64 years when he passed away. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, he also passed away at the age of 64. Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he also passed away when he was 64. And there were other Sahaba Ikram, when they reached the age of 64, they used to make dua to Allah. Allah, my Prophet passed away at the age of 64. I am now 64. Allah take me from this world. Who would make this kind of dua? Just so that people can remember him. That the Prophet lived for 64 years. He also lived for 64 years. When a person is 64 nowadays,